Just wanted to kind of bring you along on what my typical weekend would sort of be like. It's Sunday. I have my sippy Sunday treat with me. I just finished my first barn on Sundays, and now I'm going to my barn. And I have some errands to run later on today, so I'm just going to try to get everything here done now so I don't have to come back later. But it also looks like it's gonna rain, so we'll see what happens. But for me, like I said, this is Sunday. I leave on Friday morning for a show, like the next state over from us. And when you have a gray or white horse, your show prep starts now. It starts a week before your show. So, and I got super lazy at the last show that we did in March, and I packed everything. I didn't clean anything. I just planned on getting to the show early on Friday and unpacking and cleaning everything there. And when I started the cleaning process, I cleaned everything: boots, halter, bridle, saddle, stirrups, girth leathers. I did the girth last, and when I was doing the girth, it was completely ripped. Like the elastic piece had completely come apart from the leather, and all of the threading was just like disintegrating. I was like, cool, so we can't show this weekend, but that's fine. It was a good lesson learned for me to definitely do all of that stuff here, and it'll just work out better for me in the long run. I'll get all that stuff done this week. I'll clean everything thoroughly, make sure everything's in good working order, and then again Friday when I get to the show, we'll just clean it again, so it'll just be extra squeaky clean. But for today, I just figured I'd get the tail washed. I have the Slinky that was washing yesterday, and I'm actually going to stick it in the wash again today because it still had a bit of a smell to it. And the quick wraps are washed. I have towels somewhere back there. There they are. Towels that go in my grooming box. Why is that so hard for me to say? Those have been washed and bleached, even though they look still dirty. That's okay. So yep, I'm about to pull in. All I'm going to do is run through stalls, give the horses something to nibble on while I do that, and then assuming it doesn't rain, it looks really dark over there, which that's where all of our storms come from. So if it doesn't rain, we are going to ride. So stick along. So barn chores are done. Dallas has some forage that it was in his pan, and then he tips it out of the pan and eats it off of the floor. So don't know why he insists on doing that, but that's him. So while he finishes eating that, what I'm going to do is wash our tail because it's very oh geez, God, oh my God, catastrophe. Yeah, look at it, it's very sticky and matted, and it just needs a good wash and condition. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you how I do it. So what I use for my tails, and this is for the actual horse tails and the fake tails, it's the Mane and Tail shampoo and then the Mane and Tail Ultimate Gloss conditioner. Normally I use just the regular Mane and Tail conditioner, but my local store was out of it, so I had to get the High Gloss Ultimate Gloss, and I actually really like it. Honestly, I don't think there's much of a difference, if any, but I mean, it sounds nice, it works well. So what I do is I just spray the tail and get it completely wet. I don't get the very top wet, or at least I try not to, because that's where all of the glue is. And this is hard to do with one hand. Look, I'm squeezing it with my legs. I take a good amount of this Mane and Tail conditioner, or this is the shampoo, I'm sorry. Woo, a lot of it. And just work it. Oh, this is so hard. All in the tail. When you wash your tails, you don't want to try to tangle them more than what they already are, but you can see, like, I've got pieces sticking out here. That's okay. Once you put in your conditioner, it's gonna kind of come out, and then when it's wet, after I rinse the conditioner out, I always put some sort of a show sheen in it, and then, you know, you just spend a little bit of time brushing it out, and all of these knots and tangles come right out. Just don't try to brush it when it's wet. And you know, I don't really like go through and pull it down like this, because that's going to rip these hairs out. So I just kind of do like squeezing motions, and then when I get to the end, I'll kind of rub back and forth like this just to get the dirt out. I mean, really the only thing that's in here is a little bit of dirt, probably a lot of like Peppy spray and show sheen and stuff like that. So after a while that does build up and it will dull the hairs. So I try to wash it after every show. And then split it open and get these hairs on the inside, and I just kind of rub back and forth like this so I don't create more knots than I need to. And we're not going to go all the way up to the top. The hairs up there don't really get that dirty, and I try to avoid that as much as possible. good enough. So we're going to rinse that out. We'll just work that in the same way we did the shampoo, so not trying to cause any more knots, just kind of working back and forth, rubbing back and forth like this. Splitting the tail in two and make sure you get those hairs that are inside. So we got the tail in the barn. It is drip drying. The spray that I like to use is the Satin Sheen. You can also use regular Show Sheen or like Cowboy Magic. I just find the Satin Sheen leaves everything a little bit extra softer and a little bit more shiny. So I'm just going to spray this like very generously all over the tail. And then we'll flip the tail around and spray this side. And just really coat the tail, and I'm just going to let it sit there and drip dry. I'm actually going to get it out of the barn aisleway and stick it in here where it's a little more less dusty. So we'll let her sit there and drip dry, and then once it's completely dry, we'll take a brush through it very gently and comb it out and put it back in the tail bag. did actually decide to give him a bath. It's, the sun came out and it actually kind of got borderline hot, so I figured I wouldn't waste the opportunity to give him a bath. So I just used mane and tail shampoo and conditioner on him. I also used the Vetrolin White and Bright, and I put like 2 capfuls of that in a bucket and fill the bucket up with water and just sponge it over him. So I washed and conditioned his tail. I put just a little bit of purple shampoo on his legs, and I plan on giving him a full bath at least one more time this week, and then Friday morning he always gets a bath before we get on the trailer to leave. So I figured, like I said, I didn't want to waste this opportunity because the earlier I can start this bathing and cleaning process, the better. So while he's still wet, I take my satin sheen and I spray like everything from the chest down. So all of his legs I spray. Right now we have buttercups in our pasture, so it's going to keep that yellow residue from staining his legs. And then it's also going to keep any urine or manure stains from sticking to his legs when he lays down in the stall. And I'll do this every day until the show day. And then I do it even when we're at the show. Before like we put him away for the night, or before we leave the barn for the night, I do this. He gets covered in a body slinky. So that protects his body. But I always do this to his legs. And that way, if there is a stain that gets stuck to his legs, it is so easy to get off. I'll literally just take a baby wipe and wipe it off. But I really douse his legs in this stuff. And then probably Wednesday, I'm going to do his tail also. I spray his tail while it's wet. I don't brush his tail until I get to the show. So. But I think Wednesday this week, if the weather's good, after I ride and work him, I'll give him another bath. Same thing I did today. Shampoo, conditioner, the purple shampoo, and Friday, I'll actually put the purple shampoo on his legs while his legs are dry and let it sit for, honestly, like 15 to 20 minutes. So it really penetrates the hair. It kind of stains their legs purple for a split second, but if you scrub it good enough, the purple will come out and it's super, super bright and white. And I will clip him on Thursday. So I think that's going to be the plan. Is we'll clip Thursday, and then we'll also pack the trailer on Thursday, so I can show you how I do that as well. But as far as the body, I don't spray any show sheen on the body because, like I said, this week we're going to ride, and I don't want the saddle to slip. I don't want him to get sore. So the only time he gets body spray is actually at the show, and that's the Peppy spray. Which Peppy spray, it kind of has a little bit of a stick to it as well. So I'm not too worried about that, and I don't spray it where the saddle goes. So that may conclude today.